So one of the things that I learned was from really accepting myself for who I am, because very often women here, recovering people pleaser, we do everything for everyone and we truly disconnect from who we really are, and we don't love and accept ourselves on the journey where we are. We're living in a when land.
Yeah.
When I have the body, when I have the relationship, when I have the kids, when I have the money, the clients, whatever, it's just living in a when land. Starting to accept yourself as you are, where you are, it's super powerful. And that was part of the work that I did from Louise Hay, the mirror work, because she said, go to the mirror and say, I love you. I really, really love you.
Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz coach and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. Together, we'll make magic your everyday normal, bringing you the highest vibrational content to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation and mindset tools, teachings, and experts to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Here's the quantum transformation, baby. Say it with me. Let's do this. So excited to have you on the show, Petia. I'm like, we've been following each other for a while, and we've literally wanted to have this conversation for months and months. So it's happening today.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Welcome.
so excited. Thank you so much for having me. And it's like this, like, oh, let's talk, but let's not just like chit chat together. Let's bring a value to our women, to our tribe. And
yes,
like, what's better? Like just doing things that are fun for you, they're joy for you, and you know that you're helping others in a process. I'm like, sign me up.
Totally. So where are you from? I love your accent like so much.
So originally I'm from Czech Republic. That's where I was raised and born. But when I was 20, I left to live in London. Then I lived in Spain. And then now I'm home 10 years in Vegas. So I'm just like such a mix of everything. And I always say I'm like more Latina than the Latinas here.
Wait, you're in Vegas?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I have some really close friends that live there. So I will definitely be visiting. For sure. It's awesome there.
Yeah, it is. It's I love California. We go there very often because it reminds me of Europe, like everything is green and there is a water. But Vegas, as a business owner, the taxes, the traffic, the easiness, the openness of everything, like 24 hours a day, I'm just like so pampered. I'm like,
yeah, okay. It's the best of both worlds.
Yes.
So cool.
Yes. I love it.
I love what we do because we get to connect with women like me and you, connecting from all over the world, literally all over the world, all over the United States. It's just such a, it's a global community of light workers. And I'm just like, it blows my mind. It really does.
It's incredible, and Ashley, if you would have told me like 5-10 years ago that I would be like connected with incredible women and getting paid for just like being myself and allowing other women to do the same, I was like, yeah, you're crazy. Like, what did you drink?
Yeah. What Kool-Aid did you drink? And I love bringing in women that have amazing stories to share like that. So why don't you just briefly share about, I know it's like so much to share about, but share a little bit about your journeys just so everyone can kind of feel into.
Give me like a one-liner of your life, right?
Yeah, give me a one-liner of your whole life. Basically, it's like started from the bottom, now we here.
That's what it is. It's like going from the darkness to the light, and I'm obsessed with LaCroix. So, okay, you're my girl.
Oh, LaCroix, cheers.
Yes, I don't even like, I have it in my bedroom here. I just have my self-food, drink. But oh my gosh. So to make it super short, it's so easy to look at women who are in their power and in their light nowadays and see what's possible for them. So when women look at me now, and I'm podcaster, TV show host, I do international Bali retreats, national women's weekends here, live event meant for more in April, that it's incredible. It's so easy to say, oh, good for her. Like she's young or she's pretty or whatever. Yeah. She's a support of her boyfriend. We see what we want to see. But if I would take you back into how I was growing up, like mentally and physically abused, eating disorder for 18 years, attempt of suicide when I was 18, cutting my hands, being in toxic relationships, there was no beam of light. There was no hope for me. I just didn't want to live. And when I get to my 28th year, it was like 27, 28. You know what? Like, do you ever like notice that women, they come to like mid crisis in like their 20s,
Oh yeah.
like mid 20s, age 20s?
I think it's like the Saturn return too. Yeah.
It's incredible. And then I realized that if I will keep going like this, I don't want to keep going. So for a second time in my life, I was in such a dark spot that I'm like, okay, something has to change.
Wow.
And I start to search online, because before 8 years ago, it wasn't as easy as now. Like, oh, let me look on Instagram. Let me ask Uncle Google, like how to get out of depression and 10,000 freebies on how to feel better.
Right.
It wasn't
You're so
as wide as it's now, right? But luckily, I did probably the right questions, and I was asking just like how to be happy, how to find your purpose, how to feel that you matter. And I found Louise Hay. And she completely changed my life, because I realized that I was outsourcing my worthiness and I didn't love myself. And I was so much in my masculine because I didn't feel safe. I was, like,
you were surviving.
Yes, exactly. And when you're surviving, you just don't allow yourself even the possibility to relax and receive and see what's really possible for you. So being in that surviving for almost 3 decades, it just builds the walls so much up that you don't let anyone in. Actually,
Oh
I
my
didn't
gosh.
have any like girlfriends. I had just like guy friends, because I was thinking that women are catty and jealous and they will take away your boyfriend and your job and like all of these things. So now when we're able to sit like this and talk like this and wanting each other to succeed, oh, I feel like I can breathe.
Wow. Your story, wow. I'm blown away. See, like, it's so valuable to share your story because it's so inspiring. Like, it doesn't matter what you've gone through. Anything is possible. And what an incredible, like, example of that. Holy moly. Thank you for being that expander for people.
Thank
Really
you.
cool.
And that's the thing. I really feel that when we share our story from empowering, not victim, place, it is inspiring, because it's not about, oh, I want to be like Petia. I want to have a podcast and travel the world and have a love of her life and dream clients. Maybe you just want to be the best mom ever, or you just want to find a peace in your mind, or you just want to create a healthy relationship with your body, whatever it is for you. But seeing other women like being in their light and being truly unapologetic, that's something that I really feel like it ignites the possibilities and the hope. And that's something that I truly needed myself. I was in such a darkness that when people ask me, so why you're coaching women now? And the most easiest answer is I created something that I wish that existed 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Wow. Thank God you did, right? Like, thank God you did. And I want to come to your event in April. I definitely want to come to your event.
Yes, I will definitely invite you.
Yeah, I saw it on social media last year and I was like, that event looks awesome.
It was incredible. And girl, I'm like, right after the weekend, there were so many huge transformation for the girls that attended Men for More. They were like, I don't know if that's like the best example, but like really shedding the layers and, like leaving the toxic relationships, leaving the corporate.
The job.
Like,
the job.
Yes, there were girls. They're like, oh, Petia, I'm so excited. I just give 2 weeks notice after your event. I was like, oh, shit. Gosh, and now am I like responsible for it? But it's just really showing women what's possible and inspiring them, and they're taking the full responsibility. And last year we had 80 women. This year I'm gonna double it. But I really like to keep it small and intimate, because the girls, they connected so deeply. There's still collaboration. There's still like work together.
Amazing.
It's
incredible.
It's a ripple effect.
Oh my gosh. So good. That's amazing. And I would love to unpack a little bit more about, like, I know there's a lot of women that are listening that might be in that dark place. They might be feeling like hopeless and like they don't know what their purpose is or their direction is or where to go from here. Because like, yeah, conceptually it's easy to understand manifestation and creating your life. But I think on a deeper level, it's harder for some people to actually take action and get out of that dark place.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about like
Absolutely.
your
You know
journey in
what?
that and tips for them on
What
that?
made the biggest difference, I truly believe, were couple different techniques that I didn't know the ripple effect they will have when I start to do them. Because sometimes we start doing things, I was like, I don't feel any different. Nothing is different. And then it's like, oh, wow, that's why. So one of the things that I learned was from really accepting myself for who I am, because very often women here, recovering people pleaser, we do everything for everyone, and we truly disconnect from who we really are, and we don't love and accept ourselves on the journey where we're living in a when land. When I
Yeah.
have the body, when I have the relationship, when I have the kids, when I have the money, the clients, whatever, it's just living in a when land. So starting to accept
Finland.
yourself,
I
right?
love that. I love that.
Starting to accept yourself as you are, where you are, it's super powerful. And that
Mm.
was part of the work that I did from Louise Hay, the mirror work, because she said, go to the mirror and say, I love you. I really, really love you. Actually, I didn't even like stand up. I didn't lift my booty because I'm like, I don't love myself. I don't accept myself. I just don't. And that moment I realized like, oh, wow. So I want the love from the friends and from the job and the validation and, you know, the boyfriends, but I don't have it for myself. How long that can last? So because I wasn't able to go to the mirror and honestly say, I love you, I was like cringing and my body was like, no, I gotta change my body. I gotta change this and
Mm.
that. So what I did, it's looking into the mirror every single day and saying, I'm willing and open to accept myself, even though I'm on my journey to a better health, even though I'm healing my relationship with my parents, even though. So being open and willing to accept yourself, it starts to shift your energy, because now
Mhm.
you're not in a place of need. I don't need others to validate me. I don't need others to make me feel worthy. I'm in a process of doing it myself, and your energy starts shifting and you start to attracting really different people and opportunities. So the mirror work was one of
Wow.
the ones that build my foundation, you know.
That's so awesome. And I love that it's such a simple shift. Instead of saying like, yes, I love and accept myself, like I am willing. The willingness is the key, I think. I completely feel you on that. Because that, looking back, I would agree. Like the thing that got me to where I am was willingness.
Yes.
Willingness to be open to change. Yeah,
Yes.
that's so
That's,
powerful.
yeah, because the thing is that if we like it or not, most of us are, like we mentioned, living in a survivor, and we're in our head.
Mm-hmm.
Until you allow yourself to drop into your heart, you are in your head, you're thinking, you need evidence. So if you will say like, I am a millionaire, or I love myself, or whatever, and your brain will be like, that's a BS, you are
Mm-hmm.
not, you know. So you need the evidence for that. But saying like, I'm willing and
Yeah.
open and I'm
Yeah.
accepting, like how can you argue with that? Like, you
You
being
can't.
willing, that's true.
Right, right. So you guys try that on, try on this willingness statement. And on that note, I also come across women who are, maybe they're at that willingness stage and they want to change. Maybe they've hired a coach, or maybe they've worked with me, and they're on this loop of like, because my past was so bad and I was always in that survival protection mode, I'm afraid to be all in with the universe. And like you just said something before about it, you didn't say all in, but that full trust, right? Like that full level of trust. I can't remember exactly what you said, but they're afraid that if they go all in, something bad is going to happen, or something's going to go wrong, or it's going to revert back.
Oh my gosh, I so like I was so there actually, because growing up in Czech Republic, the sayings where they're like, it was all like scarcity mindset. And
Yeah.
my grandma, she's my angel. I call her every day. I love her to life. And she was born in war, in the second war. So she has the scarcity mindset. And she always tell me, don't get it too excited or
Yes.
it will get messed up, you know, and that's how I used to live. And now when something good happens, I'm like, okay, universe, show me how this can get even better. I get,
Yes.
like even though
the light just started coming through my window as soon as you said that. Oh my God.
wow.
Yeah.
But how powerful is that? Instead of like, oh my gosh, this is too good to be true. I live in that for way too many years. And that light, it's so beautiful. Your light literally look like an angel.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, universe. It's
Thank
like,
you.
girls, you are on the right path. Thank
I
you.
feel that so much right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really just like reprogramming yourself, because I always say to myself, because sometimes we get to coach ourselves through stuff, right?
Absolutely. Every day.
Right. And then I say to my clients, like, you really get to look at the situation, because you might not be able to control your first thought. That's the survivor. That's the like, oh my gosh, like I had a negative thought and now I will attract negative. Or, oh my gosh, like I'm so jealous about this girl. She's doing so much better than me. You might not be able to control your first thought, that it feels constructive, that doesn't feel right. However, you can always choose again your second thought. So for example, when something good is happening, or when you start to feel like opening your heart up and opening to trust, and you're like, oh, I'm afraid. What if I will get hurt again? What if this won't work out? Okay, you might not be able to control the first thought. Choose the second one. Now that I know that what I don't want is being hurt again, what do I really want? What I want to be surrounded by people who support me, who I can trust, and I want to feel expansive, and I want to feel trusting. Universe, show me.
That is gold right there. Literal gold. I love that. Like, don't trust or listen to the first thought, direct to the second thought, right?
Yes, 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 because you can choose the second thought.
You can, yeah.
Because if it doesn't feel right, and that's like this, like you can feel it in your body. Does it feel right? Because if not, then it's not true to you, to who you really are. So choose again.
Have you ever heard of Bentino Massaro?
No.
Okay. It just made me think of what you just said. You would like him a lot. He's really cool. But he says that too about, and I completely live by that. It's like, whatever you're believing or thinking that feels untrue to you, that is like your sign of your higher self shaking you, being like, whatever feels bad to you, that's your higher self shaking you, being like, girl, you are believing in something that's not true.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will definitely research him. I will ask you to
I'll send you his stuff.
And you know what's beautiful, Ashley? No one of us is teaching anything new.
No.
And that's the amazing thing, because it's like we cannot like model copy each other, come up with something new. Like when you read all the quotes from like, Abraham Hicks, or even like Albert Einstein, all of these things, and you go back to Rome, to Greece, all of these things, they were true back then, they're true now, but you only hear what you're ready for. And no matter how many millions of coaches are out there, you're going to click with that person, that it's your person.
I completely agree with you. And there's only abundance in the universe. Like there's an abundance of wisdom and knowledge, and like you said, none of it's new, and it's so beautiful. I feel you on every single level. It's so good. So we're kind of on this journey here of like, okay, we're where do you go from the darkness? Then you have choice over your thoughts, and then from getting into this, being all in with the universe. I always say that. It's like, go all in. If you're going to do this thing, if you're going to listen to this podcast or your podcast or anything, and you're going to put your mind to it, go all in. What's your definition of going all in?
It really aligns with what I really stand for, and it's being unapologetic. Like my podcast, it's unapologetically abundant for a reason. Because when I really started to be like full of myself, unapologetically me, that's when I attracted the love of my life. That's when I attracted my dream clients, it's like my soul sisters. I'm like, really? This is my job?
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so good. So I just love it. And so when you say being all in, it's like, don't have a plan B. I remember first time in my life when I hired my first like life coach, and I found him on like iTunes like years ago, because I was like so sick and tired of being in corporate job and listening to the ladies, they're complaining. I'm like, I gotta brainwash myself. So I started
Yeah.
to look for positive podcast, and he was talking in one episode. It's when you have a plan B, plan A will never work. So being all in, like, what is the alternative?
Yeah.
If you don't trust the universe, like, what is really the alternative? Being where you are in a 5 years in the same spot as the same person, like, it's
Oh, that's a gut punch. Yeah.
right. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel good. Oh my gosh, I was just like so passionately sharing yesterday in my stories, because I have women there that have such an incredible potential. And like, when you're coach, when you're living in your light, you can see the light in
Oh
others. You
yeah.
can
Fully.
recognize it. And when they don't acknowledge it, when they don't step in their power, it's like literally upsetting me. Like, girl, you can do so much in the world, you can do so much healing, and you choose to play small because of your fears, because you're afraid to invest, because you're afraid to play big.
Mm-hmm.
So I record like the stories about it, of like really going all in, because if not, you will keep throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping something will stick. In 5 years, you will look back and you're like, oh my gosh, why the heck didn't I invest in myself? Why didn't I do that? So
true. It really is. It really, I mean, even just, I think about that in growing my business over the last 3 years. Like, I was like very much a trial and error person. Like, I can do it on my own. I had spiritual coaches. I didn't have business coaches. And so I mean, I wish that I would have invested in a more of a business thing earlier on. But at the same time, I don't regret it at all, because I learned it was my perfect journey. But like, yeah, it's that same kind of feeling.
yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
you did invest it in you, Ashley, in
Oh yeah.
different way. You listened to yourself and you invested in your spiritual journey. So
Yeah.
that's just the choice you made. There is
Right.
nothing to regret. I'm
Not at all.
talking about sitting in the same spot, trying to figure it out all by yourself,
Oh
seeing
yeah.
other women succeeding and living in their light, and saying like, oh, good for them, they can do it. That's not for me. I'll figure it out. I try to do it like DIY all by myself, and that's what's not good. Like saying like, I'll just try to do everything and see if something works. You can get there, of course you can. I truly believe that when you believe, you will get supported by the universe. And also, why would you invest 5-10 years of your time into something that you can get maybe in a year with a coach?
Oh yeah. Mic drop. It's so true. It's so true. Oh my gosh.
And it's so amazing, because you know it with your clients, Ashley, when they invest in working with you, it's saying yes to themselves, saying yes to the universe. I'm deserving, I'm worthy. Show me how this comes back, with eagerness and expectation, but non-attachment.
Love that. I love that. And I want to dive into that a little bit more, because that's so profound. And when people do that, they make that leap and they say yes to themselves. They say yes to money. They say yes to them, like their highest self. They say yes to me. That automatically starts to make the magic happen. I posted the other day, like, investing in yourself is a magic all of its own, because you're showing up for you maybe for the first time ever in this way.
It's so true. It's and sometimes it's scary, and it's normal, because like like your brain, your ego wants to keep you in a comfortable spot, like, oh, don't go there. What if you rise? What if I cannot like contain you there, in that little box? Like, you
Yeah.
will be expansive, and then it's not going to be so easy to keep you in the same spot. But absolutely, it's so beautiful. I just did my first session with one of my new clients, and 2 days later she got tenfold back, and not just monetary value. She had girls who signed up for her retreat. She was also announced as top 20 entrepreneur on her path to be billionaire. She's already 7-figure earner,
Wow.
so she has all the strategies. It was the energy that was
Energy.
stuck.
I just
Ah.
posted about this literally today. It's going up. It's like, how did I sell out my mastermind in such a short period of time? No sales page, no emails, no nothing. It's energy. It's
Yes.
all energy, you guys. Like, that's so beautiful that your client.
I love it. And the thing, it's like you were talking about like the business and the spirituality. What I truly believe is that we have to go, like, we get to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
And I always, like, I say I coach like strategic spirituality.
I love
Because
that.
when you're grounded and when you're starting to feel like worthy and you're in your light and you start using your gift, you get to know the strategies on how to do that too. like how to show up, in the front of the right people, how to attract your tribe. Because when you're sitting at home and praying and hoping and like writing in your journal, you can get only this far. You get to take an inspired action even when it's scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. The strategic spirituality. That's beautiful.
Yep.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, it's true. We need both. They do go hand in hand. So, how do you get into the energy of receiving all that you want? Like, I mean, having a 7-figure client, that's a huge deal, right? Selling out Bali retreats, that's massive. Having a live event with over 100 people this round, like that's going to be like all of that. You have to be, obviously there's a lot of strategy in place. There's action, inspired action in place, but you have to be so aligned with your offers and your gifts and all of it to be able to receive that.
Yeah, and I love this question because that's something that I'm preaching and like a
Yeah.
nonstop, like every single day. The way how I do have strategies, Ashley, for the things
Sure.
that I'm doing, but there's less strategies than energy. Like you said, like the energy has to be aligned first, and then it feels like the right perfect person or action or place always like shows up
Yeah.
because I'm open for it. So to stay really open and in my feminine flow, I own my morning routines. I posted about it today because that's my non-negotiable. When we wake up in the morning, when I was working, a 9 to 5 job, I was always just reacting. I was just like always wake up, take my phone, respond to messages, respond to emails, put a clothes on, go to the gym, take a shower, go to the work, and always like running and rushing through the life and really just checking off the list of the achievements and never feeling enough, never feeling there is enough time, resources, and everything that I want. And what I learned is when I give myself the gift of a slow morning, and I don't care if it's 15 minutes for yourself because you're crazy busy, like hustling in your full time and your job and you have kids. 15 minutes can change your life. My morning routine is 1 to 2 hours because I couldn't do that like 5 years ago when I was in corporate. But my morning routine is really sacred. There's no technology. There is like candles, book, journals, cards, and I just do what feels right in that moment. And
But you
because
give yourself that time.
yes, so I first tell myself I'm worthy and deserving of receiving. This is a gift to myself, and I take a shower and I have a body oils, like massage oils that I put all over my body, and I make myself feel like the queen. And then I show up.
Yes. I love that. And I'm really, really honing in on that. I'm realizing like that mornings, I never had like a solid morning routine, but I have to have that time for myself. It changes everything for me. So like every morning it's warm lemon water, every morning gratitudes, every morning small meditation, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour, like whatever I can put, make time for. But like I have to take that time. I'm so with you on that.
Yeah, it's non-negotiable. And I
Yeah.
do the warm lemon water too. It's like the
Oh,
first I wake up, my lover, he brings it to bed. So
he
it's
brings it to me too. High five.
I just
Yeah.
love it, girl. Like that's when you know you're badass manifester, okay?
When your husband and your lover brings
Yes.
you warm lemon water to wake you up in the morning, it's pretty awesome.
It is. It is. I remember the first time when we spent night together, but I was just like staying in his house. We're not staying together yet. But he like woke up in the morning and he was like, "Hey, do you mind if I do 15 minutes journaling, 15 minutes meditation, and like 15 minutes stretching? That's my morning routine." And I'm sitting there like, are you kidding me? That's my morning routine. I'm like, I'm
Stop.
sold. I swear it was like exactly that, my morning routine, 15 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I'm sold, universe. Like, say no more.
OMG, that's crazy. That's amazing.
I love it. And we have like such a beautiful story because he was manifesting his dream girl for like 2 years. And I was manifesting my dream man for 2 months. We girls, when we decide we're a little bit faster.
Yeah. We're like,
But yeah, it's like, when I know, and I go for it, the men,
yeah.
they just like sometimes stop themselves and, go a little bit slow, but it's all perfect. It's just like
For
it
sure.
happened at a perfect time.
Yeah.
We literally manifested each other. And when we show each other our notes and our journals about like our dream and our dream girl, I'm like, no, you just wrote it. But there was a date. So
We could do a whole nother podcast on that because I think people love that. They love to hear those manifestation stories of soulmates. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I know you're friends with Cassie, and I had her on the show, and she shared her story about how she manifested her husband. And they're just such cool stories. The synchronicities are unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You get to allow yourself and you get to treat yourself the way you want to be treated. When I started to treat myself like the queen, and that comes to everything. Buy myself like live flowers, always.
They're beautiful.
Candles, baths, treating myself like I want to be treated when I am living my perfect dream life and starting to do it now. Some of the things I don't have yet, the dream house and the dream car. It's coming, but I'm already like,
you're already aligned with it.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, it's already happened for you.
Yeah, right. I'm like, I just wrote the affirmation about it, like about my Volvo being parked in front of my house. So
I love it. And I will say, like, it works. Like, I've done the same thing. Like, when I was manifesting my partner, I would buy myself flowers. I would go to the supermarket and I would imagine cooking dinner for this person, and getting into that energy. And that's another aspect of receiving, is to giving, just like you said, just giving it to yourself.
Absolutely. Because then you're coming from place of abundance. Like my, Chris, he fell in love with me because I didn't needed him. There was no need, no pushingness. There was no scarcity. I already had everything I wanted. And then this was like, oh, this would be so much fun to do it together, like in two, instead of like, I need a man, can this be this, like I've been there, but I'm like, I want to be alone, I want a man. And it's a resistance because you're thinking about what you don't have instead of like, what do you have?
And that's such a beautiful metaphor for anything you want to create. That shows up in business for people too. Like, I need to get to this next level. I'm not there yet. Like, I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? And it's just like really being all in. You have to give up all of that nonsense and just like go all freaking in.
Absolutely. And I love it because like you said, what am I doing wrong or what's wrong with me? Like, I always think about Tony Robbins because he says that the quality of your question will determine the quality of your life. And I always say, like, do you really want to get an answer to this?
Yeah.
I would rather get an answer. How can I improve my business? How can I attract even more ideal clients? How can I 10 times my income and impact? How can I be even more in love with my partner instead of like, why is he not texting me? Why is he not paying attention? Why he doesn't bring me flowers anymore? Do you really want to get an answer to that? Or do you want to get an answer like, what would it feel like when I come home and I'm surprised because he brought me flowers?
I love it. It's such good questions. Such good stuff that we just talked about. I love every single thing you said. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. You're just you're an angel goddess. You are. You are Earth
Don't
angel.
make me cry.
Earth angel.
My grandma, she's the one who calls me always angel, and she sends me like books with angels and
I feel it. It's real.
Thank
you. So cool. Yeah. Where can everybody connect with you? You guys have to follow Petia and just check her out and listen to her podcast, all the things.
So my favorite place, as you can tell, it's Instagram. Petia Kolibova. I love being there. I'm always on my stories. I'm always in my DMs. It really fills me up. And then I have also a free private group on Facebook, Unapologetically Abundant Women, that I have only women who are high vibe and we support each other. I do my coachings there. So those are my two favorite places, and my podcast, Unapologetically Abundant.
Awesome. And you guys can go on there and listen to my episode, which we're going to record next. Yay! Thank you so much. And I want to ask you before we get off, what makes you a badass manifester?
Being unapologetic about who I am.
Amen, sister. Thank you. Bye, guys. Woo! We did some work today because that is how we roll. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too. How can you support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit those 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. It truly means the world to me. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot this episode and tag me and my guests on IG at Manifest with Ash. Say with me, I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy. I deserve everything I desire. Now go get 'em.